What's up, everybody? It's Critical. I just got back from the gym and I had a pretty interesting experience. This isn't your standard tale of seeing an old man schlong or just some old dude flopping his wiener around in the locker room. Those are a dime a dozen. This is a true tale of discomfort. So I went to my apartment's little gym. It's pretty shitty. It has like 2 treadmills and a slab of concrete that you're supposed to use for everything else. And I only go there because it's so close by. There's no reason not to. So I'm going to the Iron Temple trying to get my pump on to pray to the creatine gods, way men. It was just me and this one dude and his girlfriend. The dude looked like the offspring of the Naked Brothers band lead singer in Popeye. He was fucking massive but was somehow shorter than me, which is extremely rare. His face also looked like he had just gotten out of middle school, but I'm sure he was around my age, like 23, 24. And he was bumping some really shitty music from a small 1990s boombox. The audio quality was just abysmal. It sounded like it was being transmitted via ham radio while underwater. I could barely make out some of this shit, but I could recognize some of the songs. Already this man has checked one pet peeve of mine, which is just playing music for everyone to hear. Why not just put on headphones? But regardless, he's just letting these flaccid jams blare, and he's singing along too, and he's dancing. He doesn't even care that I'm there. I don't even think he's registered my presence, even though I'm right in front of him. So I'm immediately uncomfortable before I've even started any of my sets. And this man's just fucking animal. He's going straight barbarian mode. He was on a cable machine that the gym has, and he was just like fucking throwing it forward. It was like he was doing, it wasn't even an exercise I'd seen before. It was like he was throwing footballs with both of his hands, like working on his passing technique. His girlfriend was doing squats. All the while he's doing this tribal rain dance, he's singing the song that's playing. I don't know what song it was, but the chorus he was singing goes, "Fuck me to sleep." So he was just singing that, just letting it howl. I don't know why you would sing that chorus out loud. It's a pretty shitty chorus, and it's a pretty stupid thing to be singing out loud, but whatever. This man's, he's letting it go. He's doing his thing. I respect that. He's fucking feeling himself. And I'm just trying not to laugh, because it was just so goofy to me seeing this meatball of a man just saying, "Fuck me to sleep." I didn't want to laugh because I didn't want to feel his wrath. He would probably fuck me up. He'd break me in half, I bet. He was super huge, and he was pumping some big weight. I'm not going to sell the dude short. But this was just one of many weird things he engaged in my 30, 45 minutes in that gym today. He had a bunch of dumbbells thrown about everywhere that he was using for alternating bicep curl sets. He was also using the cable machine, the bench for bench pressing, the Smith machine, and then one other machine that I'm blanking on the name of. Literally every machine that the gym has he was using. Fucking cartwheels on the treadmill, you name it, he was going to be using it. And whatever he wasn't using, his girlfriend was using. All I got was some 25-pound dumbbells I could shove up my asshole. So that kind of rubbed my cock the wrong way, but there's nothing I can do about it. I tried to work in with him. I asked if I could, and he just said no because his girlfriend was working in with him or something. That checks another one of my pet peeves, which is hogging everything even though you're not going to be using it at the time. But I wasn't going to fight him or anything. I'm not going to try and pick a fight with this human sloppy Joe. I'm just going to use my 25-pound dumbbells. Fuck it. I guess it's better than nothing. So I'm just doing my thing, you know, with my 25-pound dumbbells. And then this man goes and checks off another one of my pet peeves, which is flexing in the mirror and taking his shirt off. I absolutely hate when people do that at the gym where they start checking themselves out. This man's just fucking feeling his titties and flexing really hard in front of his girlfriend. And once again, I was trying not to laugh at him because his girlfriend was about 8 or 9 inches taller than him, looking down and pretending to be impressed by it. I could tell she didn't really care and just wanted to finish her workout and be done for the day. But I started to get used to his singing and the hogging of all the weights and his bizarre exercises he was doing. I wouldn't have been surprised if they had picked up the boombox and started playing volleyball with it to train their triceps. I'm starting to wind down my workout, and I could tell they were starting to be towards the end of theirs as well. And then they did something I've never seen before. It's that kind of shit that you only see on YouTube from like fitness couples that do some wacky, crazy shit. They gave it their best attempt and it didn't work. So the girl went down into like a pretzel position and the guy was doing like a reverse praying dog yoga pose. And then the girl rolled on top of the guy and he assumed a planking position, and then she just started doing some push-ups on his back, and meanwhile the dude's acting like an old fucking fitness DVD workout guy who's, you know, "Come on, keep at it, you can do better, I expect more from you. What, you milk babies with those titties? I don't believe it, come on." This girl's fucking sweating trying to do push-ups on his back and he's not happy with it. She was busting her ass for these push-ups, but he didn't think she was giving it her all. So then it was his turn to do this on her back. So she gets in a plank position and this man gets in his push-up position on her back. And he starts fucking jackhammering her with push-ups, just fucking nailing him out. And this girl's just like fucking wobbling all over the place. It was like a Street Fighter Turbo ultimate finishing move. This man was trying to drive his girlfriend into the Earth's core. He was like a bodybuilding plunger, and his girlfriend was the clogged toilet. The shit was brutal. Just absolutely brutalizing his poor girlfriend with these push-ups. I have no doubt that there was some lumbar issues afterwards. It was truly fantastic, an experience I really can't do justice with words. It's one of those things that if you saw it, it would be something you'd never forget. And I will definitely never forget that. I was pretty much done working out. 25 pounds isn't enough to get in a decent workout in any capacity. I was really just kind of killing time to watch them. I was just kind of a spectator for their show they were putting on. And then they pretty much wrapped up after that. They did like 1 or 2 more sets that were really boring, and then they just kind of left. So then I left shortly after. But it was a fantastic experience, and it made me really appreciate my apartment complex's gym. I'm going to try and sync up my workout schedule with theirs now and hope that they go there at this time usually, because I want to see some more of this shit. But yeah, that's it. So yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I come before you today as a simple man with a problem with something that's common in the world today. Something I truly believe should be outlawed, and anyone who partakes in it should be punished to the fullest extent of barbarism, just straight up slaughtering and beating up anyone who happens to partake in this activity. I'm talking about one-ply toilet paper. Now I know this is low-hanging fruit, everyone hates one-ply toilet paper, but you know what, I want to toss my nutsack into the sausage fest as well. One-ply toilet paper haunts my boners. I hate it. Whenever I see one-ply toilet paper, my mood is immediately destroyed. It's the worst fucking thing ever. It's like watching a car accident with your entire family involved whenever you just see one-ply toilet paper in the fucking public restroom. I hate it. I'd rather clean the public toilet seats with my fucking tongue than use the one-ply toilet paper in there. It's awful. It's miserable. I don't get it. It's fucking horrible. I mean, I do understand why they use it. It's cheap to get, but still. Have some morals. It's unethical. Give me sandpaper. I'd enjoy that more. Give me fucking metal. Aluminum foil even. I don't care, but just don't give me one-ply toilet paper. That is the worst. Fuck. It's like using tracing paper on your asshole. No matter what, no matter how careful you are, no matter how many times you fold it over, that toilet paper is going to rip right in your chocolate starfish and you're going to finger your asshole. Without fail. Every single time. You're just in the public restroom and you have to shit. You know, no one really likes to shit in the public restroom, but sometimes shit happens. And you go in there, you take the one-ply toilet paper, you know, you're just having a nice little gentle rub on your asshole. All of a sudden it rips. Next thing you know, your whole fist is in your anus. I fucking swear, one-ply toilet paper was one of the major curses of ancient Egypt. Excuse me, one of ancient Egypt's major plagues. You know, the locusts, all that kind of shit. One-ply toilet paper must have been at least tossed around as a plague, but they deemed it too unethical and just decided to omit it from it. Even they understood just how bad it was. It is truly beyond words. It makes me hate whatever location is using it as well. I could absolutely love the place, love everything about it, but if I go to the bathroom and I see one-ply toilet paper, that shit's getting a 1-star on Yelp. If I hit rock bottom and actually had a Yelp account, yeah, I would give it a fucking 1-star just because of one-ply toilet paper. It's just not right. It's wrong. That's not how a business should be run. It makes you look bad. It is bad. You're bad for using it. Fuck one-ply toilet paper. And God forbid that toilet paper get even the slightest bit of moisture in it. That thing will just literally explode. It just fucking melts. It's like a marshmallow that gets fucking roasted over an open flame. That toilet paper just turns to mush in your hand. If you have diarrhea, God forbid you have diarrhea and have to use a public restroom and you see one-ply toilet paper, you might as well just start praying right now, because that is going to be your demise. That is your end right there. That combination is fatal. One-ply toilet paper with a diarrhea butthole? No. That's a recipe for disaster. The second you use that one-ply toilet paper on that dirty rectum, it's over. You've already lost. Your fate has been sealed. Satan has taken your soul out through your asshole. An even more unholy combination is not only having one-ply toilet paper in the public restroom, but also being subjected to a toilet where the water isn't high enough to cushion the blow of your shit, nor is it low enough to not feel the impact of your shit. So when you drop your steaming load, it hits the water and creates this massive splashback as if a fucking sumo wrestler cannonballed into a fucking pool and just goes right up into your ass crack. And then you're going to be forced to use that one-ply toilet paper to not only clean your ass but dry it off. And that's not going to work. That toilet paper is just going to fucking disintegrate once it touches that water. I believe it's time we start to act like we're in the 21st century and just get rid of one-ply toilet paper. It can't save that much money to just put another fucking layer of paper over top of that one-ply. I truly don't think it's going to be that much more of an expense to at least improve someone's shitting experience in your business. I just can't imagine a business going under because they invested in a little bit better toilet paper. CEO Harold, what happened to your multi-billion-dollar business? Well, I invested in 2-ply toilet paper. Say it ain't so. What were you thinking? Ugh. So in conclusion, fuck 1-ply toilet paper. It's time for change. It's time we start shining a spotlight on the important issues. It's time we demand better toilet paper. We're not cavemen. Cavemen probably had a better system for wiping their asshole. I'd rather use rocks like cavemen than use 1-ply toilet paper. It's time we demand better toilet paper. That's it. Fuck 1-ply toilet paper. See ya. What's up, everybody? It's Critical. I've been getting asked the same question a lot for a long time, and I've just been avoiding it, ignoring it, because I haven't been able to figure out a way to put my thoughts into the right words to convey my feelings on the matter. After much careful thought, consideration, determination, ejaculation, and if this was a Pixar film, animation, I think I finally figured out what I want to say about this. But I should give you a fair warning. This may disturb some of you. It may make you change the way you view the world and maybe even yourselves. If your world has a lot of color and sound in it, perhaps my answer might take that away from you. So with that warning in mind, I'll proceed. Why do I like fettuccine alfredo? This isn't a question that could be answered with a simple, because it tastes good. No. This is something we're going to really have to dive into. We're going to have to take a really deep look at this one and analyze it from a very scientific standpoint. To answer why I like fettuccine alfredo, we'll have to look at the history of the fettuccine alfredo. The genesis of the Fet Al can be traced back to 1845, when Staff Sergeant Barney Riptide had just received a letter from his wife back home while he was on deployment, and she was saying how much she missed him, and how much she wished she could cook for him. And then in that same letter to Barney Riptide from his wife Susan Riptide, she gave a recipe this world had never seen before, never even heard of before, hadn't seen anything like it. It was the first recipe for the world's first fettuccine alfredo. And thus, Staff Sergeant, Barney Riptide, went to the mess hall and whipped it up and gave the world the greatest gift this world has ever received, the first fettuccine alfredo dish. With only one bite of that succulent dish, Barney Riptide knew he had stumbled upon gold. He knew what he had discovered and what his wife had discovered was akin to finding the fountain of youth. If this recipe fell into the wrong hands, could very well be the end of good food as we knew it. Barney Riptide knew he had an immense responsibility now. He had to patent the fettuccine alfredo technology. But alas, Barney Riptide never made it to the patent office. He was too busy enjoying his fettuccine alfredo. Word quickly spread like wildfire. People were going fucking nuts for the fettuccine alfredo. It became an urban legend. If you knew someone who could make a fettuccine alfredo, you would call them a witch. And thus began the Salem witch trials. You see, a common misconception regarding those Salem trials were that the witches were doing black magic, all types of sorcery, but what was really happening is they were making fettuccine alfredo. They were so fearful of this beautiful amalgamation of fettuccine and alfredo sauce, they didn't know what to do. They executed the heathens because they couldn't believe that something this heavenly could possibly exist without the use of magic. But some saw through this. They knew that it was only natural that this fettuccine alfredo existed in this corporeal dimension we exist in. So they took it upon themselves to make it in secret, where no one would ever know what was happening behind the scenes. And thus it began to grow even more, even faster, and the fettuccine alfredo became a very common pasta dish. The hype and history surrounding this fettuccine alfredo was lost to time, and come around 1998, when I was 4 years old, I tried my first pasta dish, the fettuccine alfredo. I wasn't told of its history, nor was I told of its remarkable taste. I was simply given it at a restaurant, and I took a bite. And that is the bite that opened my eyes for the first time. I was given my first boner that day. The fettuccine alfredo invented boners for me, and I haven't looked back since. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why I love the fettuccine alfredo. Thank you. See ya. What's up, everybody? It's Critical. This week I've been flooded with an unusual volume of emails pertaining to something I talked about in the past, and usually my emails consist of websites like Habbo Hotel telling me that my son has signed up for an account. I don't have a son. Daily Betty Crocker updates because some sick fuck out there signed me up for a Betty Crocker newsletter, but god damn it if some of those aren't some surprising meals from Betty Crocker, I'll give her that much. So I was a bit shocked this week when I looked past all of the strange newsletters and questions like if my ass was a dog, what would its name be and what breed, to see that I was getting questions about something I talked about in minimal detail a while back. So I figured I'd dive a bit deeper into this tale to give closure to those people that are asking for it. So it would have been about 2 years ago now, maybe a little more than 2 years ago. The story begins as all good tales do. The previous night I was out drinking heavily, and I woke up the next morning with a pretty bad hangover. And as one does when they're faced with a rough hangover and regret from spotty memories from the previous night where you're claiming you're Alexei Vanderwolf, famed bear wrestler from Russia, you get out of bed and you start masturbating to help get over the hangover. I don't understand why it works, but it does. It helps get over the hangover. So I began cleaning the clarinet, and I was really in the zone. I threw on my favorite lesbian porn film. It's a threesome called Ménage à Trois. It's on Pornhub if any of you would like to watch it. I believe it's probably the best hangover cure out there right now. And I was really just enjoying it, and I wasn't even considering it a masturbatory task. It was just me, this beautiful video I was watching, and my cock in my hand. Also, as a side note, I like to watch the porn on my phone because you can double tap and zoom in, so you can kind of be your own cameraman, and I like that aspect, because sometimes the camera angles aren't great, so I like the double tap feature. It's not really pertinent to the story at all, but I just thought it's worth throwing in there. And as by the time the video started winding down, and it's a 30+ minute video, and this was an entire 30 minutes of me going at it pretty hard, I was beating my dick like it owed me money, and eventually my dick deployed its cream, and my mission was complete. I ejaculated, in other words, or if I want to be more hip with lingo, I made cum. So I paused the video, and I closed my eyes and thanked Jesus for what I had just watched on my screen. And then I turned off my phone, and I went to clean up my cock, and my neck was stiff because I was holding it at eye level, and I guess I just hadn't moved very much. I was like a fucking statue just looking at this thing. You probably could have mistaken me for a wax figure, except for the rapid hand movement on my penis. And I very slowly looked down to begin the cleanup process, and I noticed my dick was extremely red. And it was also beginning to swell, because my dick did not have this type of girth. It looked like my dick had been replaced with a head of cauliflower. The skin surrounding the pecker had it inflated so much so it was like someone was trying to make a fucking balloon animal out of it. I immediately was able to recognize that something had gone awry in this masturbatory process. I decided I didn't want to go get it seen right away because that's kind of an embarrassing thing to tell a doctor. Hey, look, I beat my meat so hard that now it looks like I've hurt myself. What do I do? So I decided to wait it out. I gave it like an hour to see if the swelling or the redness would go down, but it just continued to get worse. By the time I did go get it checked out, it looked like a fucking bowling ball down there. That's not really a good comparison, though, because it wasn't like a fucking bowling ball. It didn't turn into a giant ball or anything. It still had like a penis shape, but since it was flaccid, there was more girth than length to it, and it was super swollen. It looked like you could have sucked helium out of it. But anyway, I went to a walk-in clinic because I wanted to get seen right away. And if any of you have been following me for a long time, you know that I'm very much a hypochondriac. That's not an exaggeration. I am genuinely a hypochondriac. So I was freaking out about this. I was worried they're going to have to cut my dick off or something like that. Now when I did get into the waiting room at the walk-in clinic and the nurse was asking me why I'm there and all this such, I wasn't embarrassed. I told them, because there's no reason to be embarrassed. It's important to have shit like that checked out. And the nurse left, and I was already 2 steps ahead of the doctor. I knew they were going to want to see my penis, so I already had my pants around my ankles, basically. I didn't know if I was going to be seen by a male or female, and it didn't matter to me. If it was a female, I definitely wasn't going to be embarrassed, maybe even a little bit proud, because it looked like I was packing heat down there. Albeit probably not the color or shape she'd be used to because it was extremely red and inflamed, and it looked like a fucking UFO, or a soup dish turned over. Eventually the doctor comes in, he examines my wiener, and he immediately asks what happened, and I'm honest with him. I said, look doc, I had a hangover and I gave my chicken a hard choking this morning to try and get over it. And he said, well, it definitely doesn't look good. It looks like it's been injured. I mean, it definitely did look like that. I didn't need a doctor to tell me that. It looked like I'd been hit by a fucking sledgehammer. And he says if it continues to swell and it starts blocking urine, there'll have to be some surgery done on it because that's very dangerous, obviously. So I start freaking out. I'm already kissing my dick goodbye. I'm debating just walking down the wall in the office there and giving myself a blowjob just for one last ooh-rah to send my cock off in style. But he gives me these pills to help with inflammation, and obviously I start taking the pills to try and help with this problem. It was supposed to be taken every 6 hours, and I swear to God, not one fucking millisecond went over 6 hours before I was popping that next one. I wanted to get this problem rectified, so that way I could continue to rectify this wood down here. And it did help. It took about 3 or 4 days, and the swelling started to gradually go down, and I was still able to pee, and yeah, it had a happy ending, luckily. But let this be a lesson to all masturbators out there. You know who you are, all 7 billion of you. Be careful when you're masturbating down there. It's a very sensitive area. If you're not paying attention, you might just fuck up your dick or vagina. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe if you just rub your clitoris too hard, you can injure it and it can swell up and look like a head of broccoli like my dick did. But yeah, there's the story. That's it. So yeah, what's up everybody, it's Critical. There's just something I want to talk about right now, more venting than anything. So last night I was watching Les Mis with Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway. I mean, I wasn't watching the movie with them, but the movie has them in it, and I was watching this movie with my girlfriend. And right towards the end of the movie, I started getting extremely intense chest pains that weren't subsiding. It was debilitating. I couldn't look down, moving certain ways made it worse. And I decided I needed to go to the hospital. I thought I was having a heart attack. I was thinking Les Mis was so fucking bad that it actually gave me a heart attack. So I went to the hospital and I got there around 11 o'clock, a little after 11 o'clock, and it was just absolute dog anus there. Absolutely horrendous. It was impossible to get seen. I would have had better luck meeting Robert De Niro in person and then having my dick jerked off by Jennifer Aniston. From the time of signing in and just saying why I was there, it was about an hour to getting the vitals and EKG done, and I can understand that because it's a hospital, they were busy. I can understand a little bit of a wait in that area, but I get there at 11 o'clock, a little after 11. The doctor didn't see me or any of the tests I did until 5:33 a.m. I'll go ahead and do the math for you so you don't have to. That is 6.5 hours of not being seen despite going to the emergency unit here. This is the fucking emergency unit. Luckily I wasn't having a heart attack, but if I was having a heart attack, I would have fucking dropped dead in their waiting room, and then would have been about 2 hours for them to clean up the body. I just don't understand how that's acceptable. They weren't even filling me in like, oh, I'm sorry, we're just so busy right now, the doctors are overloaded with a whole lot of work. They weren't communicating anything. I was just left in this fucking waiting room, developing deep vein thrombosis, waiting for this shit. I'm surprised that isn't a goddamn epidemic at Tampa General, just people dropping dead from deep vein thrombosis waiting to be seen in the emergency room. It's fucking ridiculous. Tampa General Hospital's motto should be, if you're not dead by the time you get here, the wait will kill you. It's just so fucking unbelievable how long they will make you wait without relaying any information to you at all or checking in on you or anything at all. It's the emergency room. People go there for emergencies, mostly. Some people go there just because they don't know where else to go or what to do. But for the most part, it's for people that think they are in a very serious situation and want to be seen immediately to make sure it's not urgent, and to just have them sitting in the waiting room like a virgin waiting for marriage, it's just so fucking unbelievable to me that is an acceptable thing. And that's the fucking emergency side of this hospital. I can hardly even imagine what anything else in this area would look like. Basically a fucking summer camp, because if you go there, you're not even going to be seen that day, I imagine. This must have been them fucking rushing it. Quick, it's been 6.5 hours, we're making record time, get him in here. It's just so fucking crazy to me. I can't even find the right words for it. Just sitting out there with this consistent chest pain for 6.5 hours thinking I'm having a heart attack. It's just scary. And it's just, it's unbelievable. Now, I've never been one to complain about wait times in any situations, because I get it. I understand. Things get very hectic, chaotic at the drop of a hat, and you can't always prepare for it. But to be so severely understaffed that you have patients waiting 6+ hours in the emergency side, it's just disgusting. I wasn't the only one waiting that long. Luckily, my chest pain, they didn't think it was cardiac. They thought it was more of a musculoskeletal issue, so hopefully it's nothing serious. But for someone who does go there and it's something more serious, like an appendicitis, you know, they go there to present the symptoms, and then they make them sit in the waiting room for that amount of time, fucking decomposing, and then meanwhile their fucking appendix bursts, and then they're face down on your floor, your fucking blood-stained floor, because they don't clean up the floor. There's a bunch of blood on the floor, so they're face down on the floor. If they're not dead from that, then they've contracted some type of blood-borne illness. Really, if you're in an extreme situation here in Tampa and you need to get seen right away, going to the Tampa General Hospital is the worst thing you can do for yourself. You might as well write a letter to Santa and ask him to help you out. You would get the same response time from Santa as you would from Tampa General Hospital. The only good thing I can say about the facility is the staff is pretty friendly. That's it, really. In total, the time at the hospital last night was about 8.5, kind of close to 9 hours, not quite 9 hours. 6.5 hours to get seen by the doctor, get 10 minutes of talking with the doctor, then he goes and checks another thing for 2 hours. The shift changes, I get another doctor who has to go do the same procedure again, comes back, and then I got released. Overall, just absolutely disgusting how poorly run that facility is. I can't understand how they can be so understaffed. And I did talk to some of the staff there asking, what's going on, every 3 or 4 hours, I'd check in, what's going on? Did the fucking doctor get blown up in an explosion back there? What's going on? Fill me in. And they told me it's just Mondays. They say they get busy on Mondays. Well, fuck, if you know you're going to be busy on Mondays, why don't you have more people on site for Mondays then? Doesn't that make a little bit of sense? It doesn't even have to be qualified doctors and nurses. Have some fucking dogs carrying notes from the doctor out to the patients in the waiting room. Anything at all to let them know that you haven't forgot about them. So I'm going to stop ranting, but overall, a horrible experience at that hospital with the waiting. I would not recommend it if you need some urgent care. However, I would recommend Tampa General Hospital if you need a place to charge your phone. They have some phone charging stations, and they're pretty effective. Yeah, that's it. So yeah. What's up, everybody? It's Critical. Go ahead and snuggle up in your bed. Get nice and tight and cozy in the covers. I'll hand you your favorite stuffed animal. Then I'll tell you another story of a very strange encounter I've had at a bar. This happened quite a while ago. I was still just a college-aged man, freshly 21 years old, basically just stopped sucking on my mother's teats, and I was at a bar with my friends and we were having a good old night out. And as you know from previous stories, I've never been a good flirt or anything of that nature, but tonight I had quite a few drinks in me and I was feeling good about myself, so I decided I was going to strike up a conversation with a good-looking girl, which I did flawlessly. That shit was textbook. Fucking Ryan Gosling would have been proud of it. The girl I was talking to was a little bit older than me, and we were just having a nice little conversation, just talking about general shit, getting to know each other. My attempts at flirting probably fell flat. I don't think she was too enamored with my compliments. Oh, it's a great drink. You know how to order a good drink, and just shit like that, really awful compliments because I'm a horrible flirt. But anyway, we were just having a conversation, everything was going well, until I made a pivotal mistake. I asked her where she was from. This was a can of worms no one should have ever opened. This one simple question led to a cascade of some of the most incomprehensible verbal diarrhea I have ever been victim to. So I asked her where she was from, and she told me that that's not an easy question to answer since she's lived so many lives. It's hard to say which one she really came from, like the genesis of her being. This was very serious shit to her. She was getting very personal with me, so I returned the favor and I was asking her questions. Well, which was your favorite life you lived? And she said that's not an easy one either. She said she really enjoyed when she was a 45-year-old Army lieutenant. And to that I asked her, what branch, how long were you in the service for, what happened? She gave me the answers. Apparently she had died in like a flak explosion or like something on an aircraft carrier. I can't quite remember the details surrounding that one. I'll have to check the fucking history books. She was telling me one about how she used to be a barbarian back during the, Norse times or during the Ottoman Empire or something in that time period. Apparently this girl is just like in the fucking Animus or something. She's like the next Assassin's Creed character. It was really just interesting. Apparently she had visions of her past lives and she also time traveled to go see them firsthand and take notes on them, but of course she didn't have the notes at the bar. But anyway, we just kept having this conversation about her past lives, and then she had a vision while we were talking, and this shit scared the fuck out of me. I thought she had just shut down, like her programming malfunctioned. Mid-sentence she just stopped talking and blankly stared at me. It was like That's So Raven having a vision, but of the past. And then she apologized for having this vision. She said she can't control her powers or something like that. And I said, I understand it's a very, very big burden to carry. It's quite a blessing and maybe even a curse. And yeah, we just kind of had this conversation. I don't remember all of her past lives or all the questions I asked her. But she did have some interesting ones from other planets, but I didn't really know much about those planets she was from, so I couldn't ask anything interesting there. So really, the whole thing was just a big old fucking clusterfuck that I wasn't expecting. And then I excused myself to go get a drink, which I desperately needed after listening to James Cameron's next movie plot lines. And what's incredible about this is one of the friends I was with went up to the same girl because I told him that he would enjoy her company. So he went up to her and started talking to her. And then at the end of the night, I asked him how it went. And he said that almost immediately she mentioned that she lived other lives and he just peaced out. And I respected him for that because he got to be spared the very long, detailed story about some incredible shit. But he also missed out on some amazing war stories. But yeah, I thought that was a story that was worth sharing. So, that's it. See ya. Last year I made a video detailing the horrors of urethral swab and how painful they are. Today I upped the ante with a cystoscopy. Now if the urethral swab was a fingering of the urethra, the cystoscopy was a fisting, nay, an entire arm. the arm of a 7'5" basketball player with a 10-foot wingspan going down my urethra. Now, why I got the cystoscopy is because I've been having recurrent penile problems and they thought it was necessary. I also thought it was necessary. Luckily, everything turned out normal. And I just would like to talk about the experience here, the Urethral Swab 2.0. Since I talked about urethral swabs, I thought it was only fair that I go the whole 9 yards here and talk about the next iteration of the urethral swab, the next evolution. If the urethral swab was Windows XP, this is Windows 10. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So over the last year, I've kind of become a urethral virtuoso. I know pretty much everything about urethras, what can go in, what can't. I'm kind of a urethral sommelier, if you will, in terms of adventures in the urethra. Now this one was by far my most incredible escapade in the urethral realm so far. Now, before I begin, I know some people actually put things in their urethra for pleasure. It's called sounding. I've looked into it and I can't believe my eyes. I don't know how these creatures can exist. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and start. So, I started by lying down. They pulled out my wiener and they injected a numbing agent into it. And I felt every fucking second of it. It fucking hurt. It felt like my virginity was being injected back into me. It was like a Kamehameha wave of broken glass going through my urethra. And my poor penis ate all of it. Just drank the whole fucking thing bottoms up. The next step was the doctor came in and showed me the flexible scope. And it was intimidating to say the least. It looks like something you'd be strangled with in a Hitman game. And that was going down my urethra. It was massive. It was absolutely fucking massive. They had a nice big flat screen monitor set up, some nice home theater viewing so that way you can get your urethral and bladder spectating pleasure in, and I was welcome to watch on the screen, which of course I did. I wasn't going to miss this opportunity to see what's going on under the hood down there. So he starts inserting the scope in there, and my cock's gobbling it up like Pac-Man chasing a high score, and I'm watching firsthand because I had front row seats and I was going to pass up on these tickets here. After it gets inserted, I turn my attention to the Jumbotron there to check it out on the screen. And man, that was surreal. That was just downright perturbing, really. It looked like the Death Stranding trailer. I half expected to see a baby in there sucking its thumb. Instead of going into the mouth of Norman Reedus, it went into the mouth of my Norman Petus. It was quite the thrill ride, but it was, a little gross too, seeing all that in there. But it was interesting, very interesting. I could feel every movement in there. When he finally got into the bladder, I could feel him moving the camera around, and it really felt like he was playing the crane game inside of me. It was like quite the wild ride. He'd be turning around, and I was like, oh, fuck, now he's playing Gran Turismo in there. And as surprising as this may be to some of you, it did not feel good at all. And the lube they were using was running down onto my nutsack, and I thought I was peeing all over everyone, and I thought I was some type of fucking middle school science project with the volcano and the vinegar, and it was just leaking all over the place. Thought I was peeing everywhere. So then I was embarrassed, but I was still watching the screen because I wasn't that embarrassed. I wanted to see everything going on in there. And then in one swift motion, he pulls it all out like he had just hooked a fish on the line, and then that was the end of that. Hurt real good. But I will say the urethral swab, 10 times worse. A lot worse. The urethral swab is still the king of pain in terms of urethra stuff, but I thought it was at least worth detailing the next step of a urethral swab. Now, there is a rigid scope for Cisco's. That's a whole new ball game. That's playing Cisco's on hard mode right there. That is, from what I understand, like trying to insert a large oak tree through a crazy straw. There's a lot worse things that can happen with the rigid scope, and it's apparently a lot worse, and it makes a lot more sense that it would hurt worse because, it's a fucking, it's a hunk of steel basically going into your urethra. At least the flexible scope was flexible. But yeah, so between the urethral swab and the urethral swab 2.0, the OG urethral swab was far more painful, but it was worth at least detailing this experience just for the sake of, keeping the urethral adventures, getting them out there, telling the urethral tales that you can tell your children before bedtime, so that way they too fear the urethral swabbing boogeyman and such, as well they should. So yeah, this was my latest escapade in the urethral adventures, and yeah, I should also mention post-op Cisco how it feels. It feels like I'm just constantly leaking lava. It burns and my undergarments are wet, so I'm definitely leaking, that's for sure. And it doesn't feel good. It feels like I've got some hot charcoal bricks down there. It's like I'm smuggling drugs for the drug cartel, except the drugs are nothing but hot fucking mulch in there. So that's how it feels now. Hopefully it'll go away soon. And yeah, that's it. So yeah. There's a problem no one in the world is talking about at the moment. Victims that are being silenced and are too afraid to come forward. I believe by me coming forward and shedding light on this problem, it'll be the first domino to fall, causing the domino effect of dominoes falling because the first domino fell. Similar to how the sexual assault victims are coming forward in Hollywood to reveal what's going on over there, which is absolutely great, and I feel like this is on that same level of importance. And yes, I am comparing the inconvenience of the front row movie theater seats to being sexually assaulted. Those fucking front row seats sexually assault my fucking neck. My entire being gets raped every time I sit in the fucking front row of a movie theater because I arrived late and that's the only thing fucking left. The front row of a movie theater is the most poorly designed part of any building that has ever existed throughout all of history of time. I don't understand what the thought process was when putting that fucking front row in the movie theaters. It must have just been a joke that caught on because it's been standardized. Every single movie theater has its front row about one butterfly penis away from the screen, so you're looking up at it at a 90-degree angle. It's like simulating what a floor mat sees every fucking day. And you pay the same price for those seats as every other seat in the theater, which is significantly better. Every seat that's not in the front row is a much better seat. What they should do is make the front row cheaper or move it back. Either one makes sense. Either one makes a load of sense. Because the front row, as it is in these days, is genuinely awful and ruins the movie-going experience. I saw 2 movies in the front row in the last month because I arrived late, unfortunately. One of them had a reclining seat, the other did not. The one that did not was an absolute fucking torture device. That was a chore to get through. It was like being waterboarded by a mediocre movie on the screen. It was just so bad. It was such an unpleasant experience. The one I saw last night, which was Jumanji, and it had a reclining seat in the front row, was a little bit better because I was at least pretty much laying down looking up at it, but that distorted the entire fucking movie for me. Every person's face looked like they were melting. And every time there was a nighttime scene, I couldn't see what was going on. It was like closing my eyes. It was like a sensory deprivation tank at that point, except there was a lot of fucking sound, but I couldn't see at all what was going on at the screen at that angle. Go ahead and do this little experiment right now. Get on the floor, tilt your computer screen, your computer monitor up, and then see if you can make out what's going on the screen. You fucking can't. It's impossible. I don't understand why the front row is as it is these days. I don't know who did it, and I don't like them for it. I'm a firm believer in not judging a book by its cover, but if the book cover says I designed the front row movie theater seats, I'm gonna think that guy's a fucking asshole and I'm gonna hate him. It is just a genuinely unpleasant experience sitting in the front row. It's like one of the plagues of Egypt, being condemned to sitting in the front row for every movie you want to see for the rest of eternity. It is an absolute miserable experience in the front row of a movie theater. It makes you want to leave. Even if the movie's great, you're not enjoying it because you're battling with your fucking muscles tensing up from staring straight up into the sky, and then your eyes start hurting and feel like they're going to burst out of your skull because you're adjusting them so frequently to make out what shapes are on the screen, and you're squinting the whole time like you're looking up at the fucking sun. There is nothing redeeming about sitting in the front row. From now on, if all that's left is the front row, I'm just not going to see the movie that day. And I think that's probably what a lot of people do because I know no one likes the front row. I just can't imagine a community of people gathering together as front row movie theater seat enthusiasts. If there is a group of people like that, they must be the most masochistic fucks out there. Oh yes, I just love the front row of movie theaters. I can't get enough of it. Big fan. I also really enjoy my nipples being clamped on by crocodile teeth, and I love sleeping on a bed of used heroin needles. It's just dumb. The front row is fucking dumb, and I can't imagine anyone liking it. I really can't. There's nothing redeeming about it. You actually can't make out what's going on in the movie clearly. It ruins movies. It does. It absolutely does. Now, I've only ever been to like the big chain movie theaters. I haven't been to any mom and pop dine-ins where they give you like a hand job during the movie or anything like that, so I can only speak from experience with the front row and the mainstream ones, and they're all the same. They're all way too fucking close to the screen. I'm assuming there's probably some local theaters that have, come to terms with, no one's going to like this. Let's use some reasoning here. Let's move our front row back quite a bit so it doesn't ruin people's movie watching experience. But for now, all I'm familiar with is the mainstream theaters and their front rows abysmal and needs to be changed. Absolutely has to. If you're watching this mainstream movie theaters, change your fucking front row. Please. Hashtag front row, fuck no. Just a horrible experience. Fuck the front row. Just wanted to get this all out there. That's it. So yeah. What's up everybody, it's Critical. And I bet you thought I forgot about it this year, huh? I bet you thought it just slipped my mind. You've been going to bed every night, sailing with a semi-chub, drifting off into nightmares because you thought I didn't remember. Well, now you can finally get some peaceful sleep because I did remember, and it is that time. That time where I answer the year's most asked questions and emails that I've gotten. So let's just dive right in. The first one is, what happened to the lesbian porn video that I exclusively masturbated to for a few years? For those of you who don't keep up with podcast lore, for a couple of years I would only masturbate to one lesbian porn video called Nice Pair of Lesbians. I was basically married to this video. I wouldn't cheat on it with any other videos. And I've been getting asked throughout the entire year what happened to it. So let's talk about Nice Pair of Lesbians. It got taken down, and to my knowledge and through research, extensive research, I can't find it anywhere. There's no re-uploads. If there is re-uploads, it's probably in like 140p, and that's just not even worth busting to. But yeah, so let's take a moment of silence and remember Nice Pair of Lesbians on RedTube. So now that I've answered the most hard-hitting question with that out of the way, the next one is, what is 100% on the Moist Meter? So I started the Moist Meter series this year, and the highest score I've given is a 90%, so people are wondering what the fuck does 100 look like. They assume it's The Mummy, since The Mummy is my favorite movie, and my second favorite movie is The Mummy Returns. But no, I wouldn't give either one of them 100. I don't mean to startle or scare any of you. I'm not trying to sniff your ass while you're bending over in the shower for soap or anything, trying to catch you off guard. I just don't think they're perfect movies or anything. At most, I'd give them a 70%. I think they're just extraordinarily fun, and I genuinely love them more than any other movie I've ever seen. But come on, let's be honest here. Let's call a scooter a scooter. These aren't masterpieces. They're just great, fun movies to watch and enjoy. I could only think of 3 things that I would give 100% to on the Moist Meter. 2 TV shows and 1 movie, and I've thought about this quite a bit. The only movie I could see myself giving 100% to out of all the movies I've seen is The Dark Knight. I think The Dark Knight is just an all-around perfect movie. No matter what your tastes are, you will enjoy The Dark Knight to some degree. It has a little bit of everything, and all of it is just perfectly executed. I think that is just a masterpiece in terms of movies. For TV shows, the first one, I think a lot of you will agree with me on, and then those who don't are the ones that sniff their farts and get high off of them, and it's Breaking Bad. I know some of you are turned off, wow, bandwagoner, he likes Breaking Bad, thinks it's a perfect show, but I really do. From start to finish, the show only gets better. Starts off fantastic, gets better, ends perfectly. I loved everything about Breaking Bad, 0 complaints, and the other TV show is Courage the Cowardly Dog. I made a whole video dedicated to talking about Courage, and I think that perfectly sums up why I think it's 100% in terms of a TV show. Everything it wanted to do, it did it perfectly. It was just the best possible cartoon you could ever make. It was great for adults, great for children, had a lot of comedy, had a lot of horror, had great messages. Great show, 100%. Those are the only 3 things I can think of for 100% on the Moist Meter. The next big question is, why don't I like PUBG? So if you're unfamiliar with PUBG, God bless you, you're very lucky. But for those of you who do know, PUBG has taken off in popularity, it's done some incredible stuff, and it's spawned an incredibly hostile, toxic community that makes Overwatch community look like saints. And I don't like PUBG for one big reason. The game is fucking boring. At its core, it's just a boring game. Now, I loved it when it first came out. It did Battle Royale better than every other game out there at the time, and just as a side note, PlayerUnknown's Battleground didn't invent the Battle Royale genre. Please stop trying to copyright it, you fucking micro dicks at Bluehole or Pub Corporation, whatever the fuck you're calling yourself. I think it's Pub Corp. Sounds like a Resident Evil 7 faction that's evil, and they are evil people. But yeah, they did it the best at the time, and I loved it because the proximity voice chat was super fucking fun. Some unique memories that will never be able to exist in any other type of game. It was just a really fun wild, wild west of people looking for a good time and to fuck around. But the game at its core is just a boring game. The optimal strategy to win PUBG games is to avoid conflict at all cost, until the very end when the safe zone is shrunk down to about 20 virgins in a small area. But until then, everyone's just so spread across this absolutely massive map, and I say that in a bad way because the map is way too fucking big for only 100 players. Half the game is nothing happening at all. The map is so fucking big, it makes the entire state of Florida feel the size of a Dave & Buster's. It would take you longer to run from one side of the PUBG map, either one, the desert one or the other one. It would take you longer to run from one side to the other than it would for me to run from Orlando to St. Augustine. The map is far, far, far too big. And the games just consist of the same shit over and over again. You go to the ghost town, you loot for 15 minutes, then you run through an open field for 30 minutes with nothing at all happening. You just click auto run and that's the end of that. You get to the safe zone, you wait a little while, then you start auto running again with nothing happening the whole time. It's a boring fucking game at its core if you're trying to win. And now on to the next question, which really just kind of piggybacks off the last one. Why don't I like PlayerUnknown? Well, it's because, in my opinion, he's just a laughably pathetic developer, but I just think the way he conducts himself is sad. You could cough in his general direction, you will not only get banned in his game, he will then go on Twitter and drum up some sob story about how when he was 8 years old, a serial killer coughed near him and it cursed his whole family, so it's a traumatic experience. He's just such a sad man, in my opinion. It's just, he made this game, he showed it no tender love and care, he just rakes in all this money, he goes the way of greed with the loot boxes instead of fixing the shit that's glaringly wrong. But I mean, he's raking in so much money, it just doesn't matter to him, and you know, the game could have been a lot better, but fuck it, he's just gonna go cry on Twitter instead of doing shit that's actually beneficial. So, on to the next big question of the year. Do I still attempt shaving my asshole every now and then? Previous year's answering questions video, I was asked, do I shave my asshole a lot? And the answer was, yeah, occasionally I give it a try because I feel like, you know, cleaner shits, less wiping, and also less sweating down there. But turns out, counterproductive. Shaving your asshole just leads to like fucking greased ass cheeks. It's far more moist down there, a lot more swamp ass, so no, I don't shave it down there anymore. Now on to a little speed round here because these are pretty simple answers to simple questions. What's my favorite 2017 game? Neo, by far. Fucking landslide, love that game. What is my streaming schedule, or do I have a streaming schedule? No, I don't. I always just stream whenever I feel like streaming. Forcing yourself to do something is never a good thing, unless of course you're like afraid of water and you never drink water, then you probably at some point gotta force yourself to drink some fucking water. Do I plan on doing any more voice acting? That's not up to me. I'd like to. If any big budget video games, blockbuster movies need an emotionless husk to voice a character, I'm your guy. Another last big major question I've been asked a lot this year is what camera do I use to record real life videos? I use an iPhone camera. I set it up in all types of baffling ways. You would be surprised at the amount of ways I've been able to set up this phone to record it the way I want it to be recorded. And sometimes that doesn't work, as you have seen in a video recently called Yes, I Know the Camera is Shitty and Confusing. That wasn't the original title of the video. Only early birds got to see the real title, but the camera work was so fucking bad that I thought I might as well just acknowledge that since the comments are saying how bad the camera is, yes, I'm aware the camera's fucking bad, and I didn't notice it until afterwards, and I'd already paid $30 for the card, so rode with it. Point being, I set up my phone camera in a lot of different fucking ways. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I don't have a video camera, just my phone. So yeah, those are the biggest questions I got asked in 2017. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, for a while now, people have been asking me to talk about food and health-related shit, you know, general advice or pro tips, life hacks, does anyone else, 90s kids, basically anything relating to this field of health, nutrition, working out and shit, because as I've stated, I graduated with a degree in human sciences, more specifically exercise physiology. So I decided instead of talking about this in my yearly answering major questions video I did not too long ago, I would make a whole video dedicated to it and tackle all the questions that I'm frequently asked in this area. So the first thing, there's no such thing as a superfood. Please stop emailing me asking me what superfoods I recommend. Oh, would you recommend the enhanced mulch with added fiber blend? No, superfoods don't exist, and I want you to tell yourself that every night before you go to bed after you brush your teeth. Look in the mirror and tell yourself superfoods aren't out there. It's like the boogeyman, it doesn't exist. Hey, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you it's not the tooth fairy that's going to be leaving kale dust under your pillow when you put a tooth there. It doesn't exist. There's obviously foods that are super good for you, but there's no food that's going to be this end-all be-all where you implement it into your diet and everything is honky-dory, you're losing weight, you're gaining muscle, and your dick's growing. It doesn't exist. That's just a marketing ploy to get you to buy some products that ordinarily you wouldn't even think about. And sometimes the products are actually really good for you, but they don't do all of these incredible things that they claim to have done or will do. And on that same topic, I'll go to the next subject. There's no such thing as a magic weight loss pill that's going to vaporize your fat, just blast your adipose into oblivion without you making any lifestyle changes at all. You can pop goat urine extract pills till the cows come home. It's not going to help your belly flatten if you're not making any lifestyle changes. And again, there are supplements that will aid in muscle growth or muscle repair or fat loss, but that also takes more than just taking those supplements. You have to do more than just that. Next, stop taking everything someone says as gospel as long as they're in really good shape. So if some yoked out, jacked monster manimal tells you, hey, I got this jacked because I sucked styrofoam out of urinals and look what happened, you should try it too, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. And there's a very good chance he never actually sucked any styrofoam at all in any point in his life. He may be the one selling the styrofoam, and you might be the one that's fallen for the scam. And really, it's less of a scam and more just blatant deceit. What I'm trying to say is a lot of these fitness YouTubers and online bodybuilding instructor gurus, not all of them know what they're talking about. Half of them I see on YouTube can barely even speak English, and I don't mean that as in they have a primary language and English is just their secondary. No, English is their native tongue. They just suck dick at even speaking their own language. Their entire lexicon consists of nothing but lits and savages, and they just do different intonations on the same lit. Oh, you'll do 3 lits on this lit, and then take a 3-second lit. It's embarrassing to watch half of the fitness YouTubers on here. And a lot of these, secret things the government doesn't want you to know for muscle gain, these secret conspiracies that we're busting wide open here, smash that like button, it's just bullshit. And it's there just to make you click on it. And it makes sense because a lot of people, they're familiar with the same shit. They don't want to keep hearing the same routines, the same shit over and over again. So if they see something like ancient Mayan bodybuilding technique the science doesn't want you to know about, they'll click on it and they'll probably even give it a try no matter how dumb or dangerous it is, Let's say the ancient Mayan bodybuilding technique generic fitness YouTuber preaching about is you put your head in some sand for 2 days and 2 nights, and then when you take your head out of the sand, you're an Adonis. It's not going to work, but people will still try it because it's just something different. People don't want to keep hearing the same shit over and over again. They want a fast-track thing that, that's been overlooked. They want to just stumble upon this secret thing that no one's trying, and they want it to work. And 9 times out of 10, that shit doesn't work. The things you don't hear about, forgotten techniques, they're forgotten for a reason because they weren't effective. And then these people that want to drive some attention to their site or their channel or whatever, they'll pander to that drive that makes people want to find something that's faster, that's more efficient, that nobody knows about, and they'll just hop on board, click it, and give it a try. It won't work, and then they'll get discouraged. And then, they've already tried everything, and they feel like it's on them. I've tried everything people talk about, it doesn't work, and now I've tried this ancient Neptunian, Atlantean bodybuilding technique, and that didn't work either. It must just be me, and then they stop working out because they get discouraged, and it's sad. It's fucking sad. So please just stop listening to a lot of fitness YouTubers that don't really know what they're talking about. Do your own research. Don't just take somebody's word for it just because they're in good shape. Now let's move on to the most common question asked in anything regarding health and fitness. How do I lose fat? How do I get a flatter stomach? First thing you need to accept, you can't spot treat fat. You can't choose where on your body you lose fat from based on the exercise. For example, doing 1,000 sit-ups an hour, it's going to improve the strength of your abs. They're going to be a lot stronger, but it's not going to give you a six-pack if it's still buried under 10 layers of fat. You don't need to work out either if your only goal is losing weight, losing fat. That all boils down to your diet, 100%. Working out is just if you want to build muscle as well, and it'll also help with burning fat and such because the more muscle you have on your body, the easier it becomes to burn fat. I know that's not what you want to hear, and I'm sure you've been told the old calories in versus calories out a million times, but that genuinely is what it boils down to. Just controlling how much you eat. And you can overeat if you're compensating for it with exercise and working out. You're doing jumping jacks with soft nut sacks and you're just hitting it hard out there, going for gold, going fast and eating ass. Then yeah, you can definitely eat more than normal without gaining weight or fat because you've burned those calories. Now I'm going to branch off of this subject into 2 other really popular ones that I get asked about a lot. The first being, what should I eat in order to lose weight and such? What should I be looking for? What diet? Well, I don't really like to recommend diets because that implies that it should end at some point, where what you really should be looking for is a lifestyle change or an approach to how you eat, which should translate over a long course of time. Obviously, you can keep changing up how you eat. I constantly do depending on my goals, but a diet really implies like this ephemeral 1 hour change or something, and that's not effective. But that being said, I do recommend a ketogenic diet. And this kind of goes against what I just said. It's a bit contradictory because I only recommend the ketogenic diet until you reach your goal. And then I would switch into just eating with common sense. A ketogenic diet's one I talked about in the past. It's where you reduce carbs a lot and you increase your fat and protein intake. That's a ketogenic diet in a nutshell. It's extremely effective. There's tons of research on it, so I'd encourage all of you out there that are curious about it or even thinking about trying it to do your own research and see what you think. There's definitely a lot more reputable studies on ketogenic diet than a lot of other stupid ones that fitness YouTubers present. You know, like, oh, hey, I'm generic fitness YouTuber 19. Here's my diet recommendation. It's called the Coca Duty. Here's some research, and they link to like fucking mcdonalds.com/research. It's just, there's real studies on keto diets, and I do think they're very well conducted for the most part. Another one that I'd also recommend that's also extremely popular right now is intermittent fasting. That's where you eat for 8 hours, fast for 16 for the most part. Some people do other numbers, but you're fasting for the vast majority of the 24 hours, and you get all of your meals in a short period of time. The idea behind that is when you eat all of your meals close together, you give your body so much more time to digest it and focus on other processes like building muscle if you're trying to get muscular. It makes sense, and there are a lot of studies to corroborate its efficiency, so I'd also recommend that as well and to do your research on it. Now, these two are bad examples because I don't think these are things people could do for the rest of their lives, and I think what most people need is a lifelong change in the way they approach food. That's not something you'll get from diets. That's something you'll have to hunker down on and say, hey, look, if I want to achieve this and that, I'll have to eat like this and that. And it's not easy, I know. I'll share what helped me. I've talked about this in the past. I'm pretty sure I even brought this very same thing up, but I'll bring it up one more time because it's been a while. I used to be really overweight, and since I'm so short, I looked like a fucking Sloppy Joe sandwich, an extra small Sloppy Joe sandwich. If you got me on a plate when you ordered a Sloppy Joe, you'd be really disappointed and your stomach wouldn't even be full. I was fat, and I was short, so it wasn't a good combination at all. But eventually, I realized, I eat like shit, but why? If I eat like shit, or I eat healthy, it doesn't matter, because 2 minutes after I've finished eating, it's already gone. The happiness from eating is gone. It's just so temporary, what's the point? I might as well eat a little bit better if I want to be happier with the way I look. So that's a perspective that helped me out. Now going on to the next part of this topic is how to work out, what to do to gain muscle and such. Well, I don't want to design a general workout plan for everyone out there or give a general workout routine or anything like that. But I will say you want as many compound lifts as possible. When I say compound lift, I'm talking things like the bench press, the deadlift, the squat, the big three. I'm sure all of you have heard of those before. They're very popular for a very good reason. They recruit a lot of muscles to complete the movement. They increase testosterone. It's what you want. That's what you're looking for. But if you don't really care about weightlifting, you don't have to do weightlifting to get muscular. Calisthenics is extremely effective. In fact, it's probably even better if you're only looking for an athletic physique. You'll probably get more tone and ripped off a calisthenic-focused exercise routine. Calisthenics are body weight. The calisthenics involve just using your body weight as the resistance instead of weight. So things like push-ups, and then when you get more advanced, do a push-up with your toy poodle on your back. When you get even more advanced, do a handstand push-up with your toy poodle resting on your nutsack while you're upside down. Things in that nature. And that really helps build a really toned and athletic physique, which is what a lot of people only care about. So calisthenics might be what you're looking for if that's your goal. Now, this was also very hard for me when I was overweight. It's very difficult to start and then get in the routine of motivating yourself to keep going, so I'll share with you my perspective on how I viewed this and what helped me. The time was going to pass regardless. Let's say I didn't want to spend an hour at the gym, but let's say I went and spent an hour to the gym and I fucking hated it. Well, that hour was going to pass no matter what I did, so at least I spent an hour helping me get to a point where I'm not disgusted every time I look in the mirror and want to fucking puke out of my penis hole. It really came to this conclusion where, time's going to pass. No matter what I do, I might as well spend a little bit of that time getting me to a point where I'll be happier 3 months from now with how I look. That's kind of what helped me. Kind of in the same way I viewed food, it's no matter what, you're going to forget how much fun that shitty meal was. No matter what, the time's going to pass, even if you spend it doing something fun, like jerking off while playing a video game and watching hentai. But I could also spend that time or that meal doing something that would help me be happier down the line. Since no matter what I did, whether I was having fun or not having fun, it wouldn't matter because time was going to pass regardless. So that's how I viewed it, and that's what helped me. Maybe that'll help you, maybe it won't. These are the main things I get asked in emails about this subject, so I figured I'd tackle all of them in one big video here. So hopefully this helped, and hopefully it answered all of those questions. So yeah, I mean, that's about it. So yeah, nostalgia. It's fucking powerful. Like a Sears catalog to a boy going through puberty in the mid-90s. For those of you who don't know what nostalgia is, it's something that can only be experienced by 90s kids. Does anyone else 90s kids? Where you have a longing for something in the past. A feeling, a show, a game, etc. Stuff like that. Most of the time you hear people talking about nostalgia, it's in reference to video games, cartoons, movies, or something, you know, like Ocarina of Time, or Courage the Cowardly Dog, which is objectively the best cartoon that's ever been created, and if you have a different opinion than that, then I expect an apology from you for your incorrect taste. But the point is, I never really thought about nostalgia past these mediums of entertainment like cartoons, movies, and shit. I never thought I'd ever really want to look back on my past because, as I've talked about before, I've always really disliked myself, hated myself, always thought I was worthless, and I really never expected myself to want to look back. I always believed the sooner the Men in Black could deneuralize me, the better it'd be. This isn't me saying I had a shitty childhood or anything like that. No, I had a fucking great childhood. I have an amazing family and everything. I had a lot of great times, but at the same time I had a lot of bad times, and I never really thought I'd want to look back on any of that shit. Until pretty recently. When I was 11 years old, I bought a little handheld camcorder, a little cheap piece of shit, and I'd put it up on a little step stool, and I put 2 pillows under it so I got it the perfect height to record my TV while I played video games. And I'd record myself playing the games and talking occasionally, not very often. And the game I would play was Gears of War and sometimes Rainbow Six Vegas, and I recorded it, and I posted it on the same YouTube channel I'm using today. And I was super proud of this, and I kept doing this for about a year before getting a capture card. Then the quality got upped, and I kept playing Gears of War, making montages and 1v1s and glitch videos and shit. I put a ton of work into it, then I got Sony Vegas, started editing it. So much work went into all of it, and I was so fucking proud of it. Kind of. Not super proud of it. Obviously not proud enough, because as I kept doing that, I got kind of tired of it, and then I started branching out, and then I did the commentary stuff. And then in 2010, Ray William Johnson featured one of the commentary videos I did for QWOP. And the second that happened, I immediately purged my channel of every video from my past because I was ashamed. I was very embarrassed. I didn't like what I made at that point. And, you know, objectively, it probably wasn't that great. So I got rid of all that shit, and I just, set fire to the Library of Alexandria, and I just never looked back. It wasn't just a few videos or anything. I made hundreds and hundreds of videos. I made a ton. And I didn't ever really think about it until about 3 years ago. I was thinking to myself that I'd really like to be able to look at those again and just be flooded with the memories of all the hard work I put into them, what I was experiencing at the time, and just kind of see where it all started. Now, that's not exactly accurate because prior to getting the camcorder when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I used to make little videos on another old camcorder for Dragon Ball Z Budokai and shit, but I never had anywhere to post those because the internet was primitive back then, and all we had was the occasional still image of a titty that would load after dial-up connected after 30 minutes. I had nowhere to put any of those, so that's been gone and buried in the earth's soil somewhere. But the videos that I posted on here when I was 11 to 14, I would really like to see those, because from there is really where my passion for creating came from. And like I said before, I used to use creating videos as my form of escapism from the real world to distract myself from feeling invisible, and I'd really like to see those videos I made during that period. Now, the reason I'm making this, there's 2 reasons really. One, YouTube, can you please give me those fucking videos back? I know you've stored that shit somewhere. Facebook stores information from my fucking birth certificate to the last time I ejaculated, to exactly what second in the porn video I came. You have to have those videos somewhere. Don't fucking try and tell me they're permanently deleted. I know they're not. I'm not that stupid. And the second reason I'm making this is because I really regret deleting those videos. I don't have a lot of pictures of myself because I never wanted a lot of pictures of myself. I still don't really, honestly. I don't like pictures, But the point is, I don't have a lot to look back on and remember, because I don't have those things. I don't have like a time capsule or anything. But those videos, I could have looked back on and had all of those memories and, smiled about it. Oh, I remember this. Oh, that was cool. Oh, shit. Fuck all this cool shit. And a lot of people I know are probably in a similar boat. A lot of people have made things they're not proud of, whether it be an art piece, maybe even a video, could be anything. And you just don't want anyone to ever see it, and you never want to see it yourself. You just want to forget it exists because you think you're better off. But I argue it's very important to look back on the things that you're embarrassed about. It's very important to reflect on your past. At least that's just my view on it. Every now and then I'll go on a really hard nostalgia bender on YouTube because most of my formative years were spent on the internet, mainly watching game-related shit, game-related people. So when I go back and watch things like Gears of War montages and Halo 2 and 3 montages, like Walshy's Halo 2 montage, Furion and Fluxy's Dual-tage in Halo 3, fucking Calamosity's Gears of War montage and shit, all of those things will remind me of what I was like when I first watched them, and it also shows you where you've come from and how you've grown, and really just gives you a nice perspective on things, on time, really. But yeah, just to wrap it all up and put the condom on this throbbing nostalgia boner, maybe don't jump the gun and delete things that you're embarrassed of now. Maybe just let it sit there so you always have the option to go back and look at it should you ever choose to. Maybe at some point you won't be embarrassed of it, and I think it's very important that you at least have the option of looking back on your past, and that's just my opinion on it. And YouTube, just give the fucking video files back. I know you have them somewhere in your fucking deep filing Area 51 servers and shit. There's somewhere out there, and I know that they're doing you no good. Just give them back to me. Let them come home safely. Stop. Just stop and give them to me. That's it. See ya. During one of my streams a while ago, someone asked me if I could get Reid to come on the podcast, to talk about wieners, vaginas, pussies, and RuneScape, just the normal type of porn talk on the podcast. And I responded saying I don't think Reid would ever want to do that because she doesn't like me, personally. And that led to me telling the story of the beef between Reid and myself. Beef being the wrong word, but for lack of a better term, the bad blood between us. Although this was a while ago, so I'm sure she probably doesn't remember or just doesn't care anymore. But now, ever since I told that story on a stream, people are constantly asking me during streams to tell the story again. And it's kind of cute, kind of like, a kid asking their grandfather who fought in Vietnam to tell them war stories that they've heard a million times from him, except in my case, the only war I fought was on the shores of Reid's butthole. So I figured I'd make a video dedicated to telling the story. So it all started when I made a video about Reid's abominable rap, which remains today one of the worst raps I've ever heard. Now there's definitely a lot worse raps on YouTube from small channels with like 30 views, maybe from like Old Pop Hickey Yokel's barnyard rap ballad about cunnilingus on his animals and making love to his sister, or maybe a chemistry professor's educational rap that's just fucking horrible. But those aren't fully produced raps. Those are all very amateur attempts at it, so I don't really count those as actual raps. Reid had a team behind her and fully produced, so it was a genuine attempt at it, and it was fucking horrible. The worst I'd heard in that department. So I stand by that. I stand by that analysis. On the moist meter, that'd be a 5%. Now, when I published the video, I was made aware she wasn't too happy with my critique of her song here. And I can understand why, because it's clear she put a lot of heart and soul in that. There was inspired lyrics in there, such as, spit stringing from my mouth, let you fuck my face, good nutritious nut. And who could forget when she really takes it home with, jerk it out, jerk it out, jerk it out, beat it out, beat it out, beat it out, jerk it out, jerk it out, beat it out, jerk it out. So I can understand when I insulted her magnum opus of music, that she wasn't too happy with that. And that's when it really started, when I made that video. So she didn't like that I made that, she didn't like me, and then about 2 or 3 months after that, I went on her Twitter page, just browsing and perusing, learning more than anything. Well, honestly, I was just looking for titties, for lack of a better cover story. I went through a lot of different porn stars' pages just to see what productions they were taking part in, really. But while on Reid's, I noticed she had retweeted some fan art. And let me tell you what, that fan art, bingo, bango, bongo, that's the epitome of fan art right there. What it was a crayon drawing of Reid spreading her ass cheeks apart and just having her brown balloon nut winking at the camera. It was fucking beautiful. And I saw this, and I made a tweet about it. It was a very vague tweet. I didn't say what porn star. All I said was, haha, I just saw, porn star's fan art with her gaping asshole in crayon. It was great. And then I guess people found it and told the artist that I said that. And then the artist called me an asshole. And then Riley Reid retweeted that saying I'm an asshole. So then they were just double teaming me. And, it all stemmed because, I mean, come on. It's a crayon drawing of a porn star's asshole. How's that not entertaining? I don't want to show the fan art, but instead I took it upon myself to try and doodle it myself. I did 2 attempts here. Neither one of them really capture it. This was my first attempt. It doesn't really convey what it looked like. This looks more like a God of War enemy. So then I tried again, and this one just kind of looks like a Wallace and Gromit character doing some naughty shit. This isn't what the fan art looked like. It definitely looked a lot better than this, and I went on the artist's page, and she's talented. But this particular piece, I had a giggle about. Come on. You got a porn star spreading her fucking chocolate starfish and you're doing it in crayon? That's great. That's gonna put a smile on anyone's face. And to be totally honest, as far as crayon drawings of porn stars spreading their fudge cutters go, this is probably the best it can ever get. It was really well done. I could see where the asshole was. I could see the butthole clearly. There was even some labia draping down like some beef curtains. And the pose was really well conveyed. Like you could see the stretching of the ass cheeks, pulling it apart and seeing what's between them. It was really well done. It had a side by side so you could see what the pose was not in crayon and then in crayon. Really well translated. But I honestly don't know why they both got so offended about me making it a joke. I thought the piece was done lightheartedly as just kind of like, hey, look at this little doodle I did. You remember when you did that photo shoot where you spread your butthole wide? Well, here it is in crayon. Oh, that's cool. Retweet. I didn't know it was going to be a hill you want to die on defending it as some type of artistic masterpiece or anything. Like if someone out there wanted to make a fan art of me with my legs over my head and soft dick slapping me in the face and they did it out of Sharpie or Legos or pipe cleaner or something, I'd be like, haha, that's entertaining, that's cool. And then if people start turning into a joke, I don't think they'd turn to me and be like, defend this. I'd be like, well, at the end of the day, that's my soft cock slapping me in my face out of some goofy material, you know what I mean? That's probably worth making a joke out of. But, anyway, that's why Riley Reid doesn't like me and probably will never come on the podcast. If I'm wrong, Riley, and you do want to come on the podcast, just go ahead and reach out to me on Twitter. But yep, there's the story, and that's it. See ya.